If you want NBA 2K21 to be the best 2K ever, drop a like or the park will look like this and we'll only get one park. I wouldn't risk it. Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Badge Plug, and today you already know what time it is, man. We do this every single year, so make sure you guys drop a like on this video and we're gonna get straight into it. So as most of you guys know, Patch 10 came out like 2 months ago, right? So the chances of us getting a patch for the rest of the year is very unlikely. Plus, if we do get a patch, it's most likely not going to affect gameplay at all. So that's why I'm dropping this video so early. Usually I drop it a little bit later in the year, but it seems like 2K is basically done with 2K20 and they're on to 2K21, which is coming out in around 6 months. And they have a lot to worry about because, you know, it's going to be next gen and all that. So they really have to have an incentive for people to buy the game because there's going to be so many games coming out, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, today, guys, top 3 best builds. Now, drop a like on this video if you want to see my top 10. Of course, I might drop that too if you guys want it. But for today, we're only going to be doing top 3. Now, these builds, I want you guys to understand, this is most overpowered broken builds, all right? So these are builds that you do not need any teammates to be good with, okay? What I'm saying is you don't need, oh, this build has to go with this build to make it godly. This build needs to run with this build. No, you're going to get on this build and you're going to dominate no matter what your teammates are running. You're going to be able to get on this build and do extremely well with it. So the number 3 best build in NBA 2K20, as most of you guys know who watch my channel and watch most of my videos, lately I've played on a lot of tall speed boosting builds. Now, the number 3 best build in NBA 2K20 is a tall speed boosting build, but let me break it down for you, okay? I've played on a 6'10" build that can speed boost. You guys can go watch the video. It's called Tall Speed Boosting Build in the game if you haven't seen it. I've also played on a 6'9" speed boosting build, the Jason Tatum build, okay? Then I played on the 6'8" very popular playmaking glass cleaner Zion Williamson 6'8" build, the very popular build that blew up in the community, the power forward speed boosting glass cleaner as most of you guys know it. And my favorite one out of those 3 is the 6'9" offense-minded wing small forward build. Yes, it is a 6'9" Jason Tatum type of build. You guys can go watch the video if you haven't watched it yet. But the reason why it's my favorite is because you can get the build to speed boost right away. Unlike the 6'10" where you have to be a 99 or 99.9 and you have to be playing with someone that has Hall of Fame floor general, you only have to get a bucket or 2 at like 90 overall. You know, you don't even have to be 99, whatever. But once you get to 99, 99.9, if you make the wingspan correctly, you should be able to speed boost right away depending on how you make the build. Plus, the difference maker from the Zion build is you get 6 finishing badges, whereas the Zion build only gets 1. Now, I think you could make it a little bit different, but you get 6 finishing, 9 shooting, 15 playmaking, which is Hall of Fame, and 11 defense badges. Now, that's not a lot of badges, but I've told you guys, at the 1, when you're running a 6'9" build that has 11 defensive badges and Hall of Fame playmaking, so you're really fast, basically just like a playmaker, it defies that. Like, it makes it to where you don't need that many badges. When you go higher up in the height, you're not going to have as many badges because the player is going to be more OP because it has more size. And along with the Hall of Fame playmaking badges, you're basically, with quick first step Hall of Fame, moving just like a slashing playmaker or someone with close to 99 speed. So if you want to put playmaking takeover on too, then there you go. You're going to be even faster. So that is my number 3 best build in the game, the tall speed boosting build. But if you wanted to get more accurate, it is the 6'9" offense-minded wing Jason Tatum type of build. Now, my second favorite out of the 3 would be the Zion, because you don't have to be able to have 99 or 99.9 and also be playing with someone with floor general to be able to speed boost, and that's something that you really would want to do on the build. That's most of the reason why you would make a build like that. But anyway, the second, number 2 best, most overpowered, greatest build in NBA 2K20 of the entire year is, ladies and gentlemen, the BP offensive threat build. This build is spectacular. Most of you guys have seen it, okay? I will probably have links in the description to all 3 of these builds so you guys can go check them out and talk about exactly which build I'm talking about, because there's lots of different builds with the same exact names, stuff like that. So I'll most likely have them in the description so you guys can check them out, or I will have it on my Twitter, okay? So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at BadgePlug. But anyway, this build gets Hall of Fame finishing badges, which gold to Hall of Fame finishing badges is a pretty big difference, okay? It's not huge. You don't have to have Hall of Fame finishing badges, but when you do, along with the 84, 85, 86 driving dunk that you can get on the build, which gives you pro contact dunks and elite contact dunks, you are basically a slasher, okay? You are a very good slasher in terms of being on 2K. Now, the build doesn't look like it can slash, but it can definitely posterize and dominate against a lot of builds in the paint. And plus, the build is like 6'3", 6'4", so when people come up against that build, you don't know, because there's all different types of the offensive threat. They don't even know what the build can do unless they, you know, check your player card and stuff before the game. But there's so many different ones, and that to me is by far the best out of all the offensive threats, because not only do you get the Hall of Fame finishing badges, but you get the Hall of Fame shooting badges. And once you get the build close to max out, 99, 99.9 in that area, in that region, you're gonna have, with the gym, you know, going to the gym and getting your speed up, around 96, 97 speed, somewhere in there, plus close to 99 acceleration. So it's very close to a playmaking slasher, and it gets the double Hall of Fame in the badge category. So, and you can never lose with a build that has 2 categories with Hall of Fame, right? And on top of that, the reason why it's not the #1 build in the game is because to get the contact dunks, to make it the BP build, it has to be about 6'2" to 6'3", and you guys know from my recent experience of playing on these tall speed boosting builds, I'm in love with the size of player builds, like the tall speed boosting builds, because not only are they so great on offense and a mismatch on both sides of the court when you're running at the 1, but you can literally dominate with those builds no matter where you go, no matter who you're against. And you can also bully people in the paint. You're better at defense. You can even guard centers with some of these tall speed boosting builds. Not all of them, you know, not all centers, not like a good post scorer, but you can guard with the defensive badges. Like I said, the small forward offense minded wing has 11 defensive badges, not in legend. You can guard most centers if you have to switch on them in the paint, around the 3-point line, whatever. All right, guys, so my #1 build in NBA 2K20, I'm sure most of you guys have to know this, right? I mean, it's very, very out there, but it's going to be obvious. Of course, the #1 best build in the game is going to be known, okay? You know what I'm saying? This isn't like some rare build you've never seen before. But, guys, in my opinion, and I would say in most people's opinions, the #1 best build in NBA 2K20 is the two-way slashing playmaker, or the slashing playmaker. But in this case, we're talking about one build in specific, so the two-way slashing playmaker. You guys know I've been talking about all year. That was literally my first build. I went into NBA 2K20 with a slashing playmaker. Now, the reason why I didn't go with a two-way slashing playmaker is because we have no clue, or had no clue, that in the game, you only need like a 63-pointer and 10 shooting badges to shoot pretty efficiently. But this build at 99, 99.9, you don't have to be there. But at 99, 99.9, you have like a 70-something three-pointer, depending on how you make the wingspan of the build. And that is amazing, okay? If you have a 70 and it gets like 12 to 15 shooting badges, maybe even more depending on how you make it, the build has absolutely no weakness, okay? Had no weakness. If you guys have seen the LaMonsta two-way slashing build, you've got around 90s in defense, okay? The only thing it lacks in, like I said, is the shooting, but you don't actually need shooting ratings. As long as you have on a good jump shot and know how to time it and, you know, have the bar off, hot spots and all that, you're going to be wetting. Now, you don't have to have bar off, hot spots, all that, but having that on makes you into an elite player in the shooting category where you don't need to have an 85 rating with 25 shooting badges. You don't. You guys have seen it. You're literally watching gameplay right now. Me being on a slashing playmaker with not a very high three-pointer. But the two-way slasher gets Hall of Fame defensive badges, which is amazing because the build, the known build, is 6'5". 6'5" is a great height for a guard. And on top of that, not only are you 6'5", you get Hall of Fame defensive badges and Hall of Fame playmaking. So you're going to be running just as much, just as fast as the 6'3", 6'2" builds that are out there cheesing and speed boosting and all that type of stuff. And on top of everything, guys, of course, you guys know this entire year I've been preaching it, contact dunks. Yes, contact dunks. It can also get the pro and elite contact dunk. So this build literally has no weakness. Most people call it the most overpowered / the best build in NBA 2K20 because as long as you know how to shoot, there is literally no reason to make another guard build, okay? Now, I do have 2 side builds. The glass cleaning lockdown, great center build, has Hall of Fame defensive badges and shooting. Very good center build. Obviously, the best center build unless you're like a post scorer and you like doing that type of stuff. Obviously, a post scorer is super OP. And then the most last noticeable build or notable build is the pure slasher. You guys know there's not a lot of builds that can guard it. The baseline cheese is very overpowered, but you know, just driving in and dunking isn't very fun for a lot of people, so that's why I didn't put it on here. It would obviously be in my top 10, but anyway, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what you think is the best top 10 builds in the game, top 3. It's your boy Batch Plug. You've been plugged in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'm out. Peace.